Hi, I'm Jill from Wild About Wool and part of the team coordinating the Big Knit 2021 for the Woven Festival next year. And we're really excited that Huddersfield Railway Station is the landmark chosen for our big Rainbow Knit Yarn Bombing Challenge. And that's great because it also accesses us to a network of communities across Kirklees that have stations. And we're looking to involve those communities. So if you live near a station or use a station in Kirklees, please get in touch because we're looking to develop our project out into the community, creating some satellite installations as part of the Big Knit Challenge. We've got some yarny ideas to develop our project. So as well as our mosaic of colours that will hang down from the pillars on the station, we're going to have some patterned panels and some yarny square motifs with pictures that reflect communities from across Kirklees. So, for example, cuckoos from Marsden, or moons in Slowett, or pies from Denby Dale. So if you have any ideas about picture motifs that we can develop, then again, get in touch through the website. But our first real big challenge is creating squares and rectangles for our rainbow mosaic. Now we've calculated that we're going to need about 400 squares per pillar. So it really is a challenge and is why we're starting our project now. We've tried to keep the spec, if you like, for the squares as broad as possible. But we do have two rules. Number one is around colour. So there are 7 rainbow colours, as I'm sure you know. There's a little mnemonic that you can learn to learn the colours and to have them in order. And it goes, Richard of York gave battle in vain. So you've got your red, orange, yellow, Richard of York, green, blue, indigo, violet, gave battle in vain. And using that colour scheme, we want graduated variations of each colour that will fall from the top of the pillars. So whatever you've got in your stash, you can use, and you can blend different colours together to create patterns. So, for example, here's a red square, just plain red, but you could add in a bit of pinky colour, a lighter red. You can use a number of different shades of red to create a design. A couple of colours there in green to create a pattern. Or a variegated yarn, just to give that, again, a little bit of colourway. So we don't mind what colour green you use as long as it's green. And so that is rule number 1 on colour. Rule number 2 is size. We would like squares that are 6 by 6 inches or 15 by 15 centimetres, or 30 by 30 centimetres or 12 by 12 inches, so double the size. You can create rectangles using those dimensions, so 12 by 6 or 30 by 15. And that's it basically. Those are the rules. You can use any yarny technique to create your squares and rectangles. Knitting and crochet is the obvious one, and If you don't knit, but I've always thought, be something I'd like to have a go at, this is the perfect project. It's very forgiving. You can just start off with a little square. Doesn't matter if you go a bit wrong, because we'll just call that a design feature. And it gives you the opportunity to, try things out, get your technique going. And I'm sure in no time you'll be away. There's lots of how-to videos on YouTube on knitting and crochet. And I'll do a little how to start knitting that will come on to the website shortly. And we've created a downloadable sheet of patterns for you to get going with as well. And that has some useful links for online resources. But you can use other techniques such as weaving, using peg looms or pin looms or paper looms, or your fingers. And I'll be doing some how-to videos around that as well. You could make some I-cord using a knitting Nancy or one of those bobbins with little nails in. And then you could just sew lengths of that together in 6-inch or 12-inch strips, like that. All sorts of ways that you can construct and make squares. We even thought, well, why not make use of all those discarded knitwear items you might have, things that might have got a bit shrunk in the washing machine. Cut up some squares, embellish them with some felt, that kind of thing. And talking of felt, you could make some felty squares as well. We'll be putting lots of ideas onto the website, so do register your interest and we can keep you up to date with everything that's happening as part of the project. We're keen to involve schools and organisations, activity groups and clubs in the project. So if you're involved in anything like that, again, get in touch. We will have resource boxes, some equipment, ideas, expertise, and skills to get you going. So come on, let's all take up the big Rainbow Knit Challenge.